Motivation is not going to get you there, but discipline will. Discipline is going to get you to reach your fullest potential. I'm back, y'all. Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back, sweetie. Today, we are talking all about discipline. I used to always be one of those girls that always relied on motivation so much to the point where, like, I would literally scramble around trying to figure out what things can make me motivated to keep me going. But I'm so sorry to break it to you. Motivation is just not going to be enough. That is why today we are talking about discipline, how you can have discipline in your life. And I'm going to give you guys some easy, actionable steps to help you become disciplined. My goal is to help you, to help me, so that we can be the best version of ourselves. If you guys enjoy this type of content, you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Discipline is built in the small decisions that we make daily. We're going to need to practice choosing the hard option in these micro moments. For example, when you feel like hitting the snooze button, all you have to do is just lift up one arm, one finger, and hit that button. That small movement can build momentum. Instead of thinking about the whole task, commit to the first 5 minutes and see where it takes you. Or you can even use a 2-minute rule. If a task can be done in less than 2 minutes, like responding to an email, tidying up your space or your workspace, do it immediately. This literally prevents small tasks from building up, and it keeps you in a proactive state of mind. And that is exactly what we need. We're gonna need to take time to understand what typically derails our discipline. Is it a certain day that you lose focus, or a specific activity that makes you procrastinate? We're gonna need to identify these patterns, and this is very crucial and very important for you. So if you're focused more in the mornings, then you procrastinate at lunch, you're gonna need to structure your high priority task in the morning and schedule less demanding tasks in the afternoon. See, a lot of the times we may think that we're lazy or that we procrastinate a lot. Yes, we can be very lazy people. I mean, there's a lot of lazy people out here, but I think a lot of the times we are doing a lot of these harder tasks in the moments where we're less likely to do them because we're not either up to it, we're lazy, we're tired. So whenever you have these tasks that are very high on your list that need to get done, that requires a lot of your energy, you need to be doing those things when you have the energy. This will keep you from procrastinating. We're gonna need to create a trigger action plan. So let me give you this example. So if you're tempted to scroll through your phone in the middle of your workday, the moment that you reach for it, use that cue to either do some push-ups or even take a walk outside. So you'll start to associate the action with something beneficial. And I think if we really just got our mind to that place, the moment that we pick that thing up, that device that always distracts us, you need to, instead of picking it up, you then realize, oh no, I'm not picking it up. I need to be doing something that's going to benefit me in the rest of my day. And I know some of you guys might say, I don't know, I just can't do it. Or we're not going to use those words anymore, any longer, okay? Instead of saying like, I can't, let's use like, I don't statements instead of I can't statements. I feel like language definitely plays a role in our discipline. When we're like faced with temptation, saying, oh, quote unquote, I can't eat junk food, feels more restrictive and temporary, which makes you want it more. So instead, I believe you should say something like this: I don't eat junk food, instead of I can't eat junk food. This is an identity-based affirmation that reinforces your values and your commitment. So remember, instead of using I can't statement, use a I don't statement. I truly believe that in this process of learning about discipline and wanting to be disciplined, we should create negative consequences for our actions. Instead of us always rewarding our successes, which is not a bad thing, I just believe that we should also create stakes for not taking actions. Creating consequences for not doing the things that we committed to ourselves to doing is going to help you and push you a little bit more. So I remember there was someone that I knew that wanted to lose weight really bad. With this losing weight, there was a program that you could get into, but you have to put money up. And it was about like, I think it was like $500 or $1,000 or something like that. If you lost the weight at the end of the program, you'll get your money back. And if you didn't, you wouldn't get your money back. I believe this type of strategy is very powerful. It uses a psychology of loss aversion. Let's be real. People fear losses more than they value gain. I mean, no one wants to lose money, you know what I'm saying? So I believe doing something using this strategy will help you. Another tip that will help you is environmental design. Design your environment in a way that reinforces discipline. So an example of this would be something like this. Say you want to read more, which that's something that I'm definitely doing now. I really am pushing myself to read more and more books. But if you want to get into book reading, you should place your books on like a coffee table instead of like your phone or your TV remotes, things like that. Putting it in places where you tend to be a lot, I would suggest doing that. Or like if you want to work out in the morning. This might sound very, very crazy. This tip is really for the lazy people out here, but I'm being real. If you really want to work out in the morning and you feel like every time you wake up, it's so hard to get out the bed, to put your gym clothes on, to get ready, there's one thing that you could do that could help limit the tasks that you have to do in the morning. Sleep in your gym clothes. They're clean anyway. It should be clean. So sleep in your gym clothes. So that way when you wake up in the morning, you have fewer obstacles between you and the workout. I mean, it's a really smart idea. So, I mean, you could take it or not. You could take it or leave it. But I just suggest that if you are really that lazy and you just cannot, this is something that you could possibly do at night so that way you can wake up and make it to the gym in the morning. I would even suggest having a vision board or some type of visual cues that you can look at in the mornings or just like whenever you're like in your room or something that outlines what you're working towards daily. I just believe that this will help you. I just believe that this will help you keep your goals in the front of your mind. It's like you should treat your mind like a muscle. Discipline is like any other muscle. You need to train it progressively. Start with something small and increase its difficulty over time. So start on focusing on something, I don't know, for 10 minutes straight a day, and then increase it by like 2 to 3 minutes every week. This prevents burnout, but this also builds mental stamina over time. You should also be practicing delayed gratification in non-related areas. This could be as simple as like holding off on responding to a notification for like 10 minutes. So when you feel the urge or resisting the impulse to eat something sweet, this literally strengthens your capacity to control impulses. And I can speak for myself. I am definitely someone that definitely struggle with impulses. This is something that can help strengthen that. We really need to reduce the number of daily decisions that we have to make by automating them as much as possible. It's like eating breakfast in the morning, for instance. Have the same breakfast every day so that you don't have to think about every morning waking up, what am I gonna eat for breakfast? Why don't you come up with what you're gonna eat for breakfast for the whole week? So that way, every day you wake up, you already know what you're gonna be making. Or you can just open up your notebook or open up your iPad. So then that way it's already written down and you don't have to go out your way to think about these things. It even goes as far as your morning routine. Maybe make your morning routines identical to each day. So that way it all looks the same so that you're not having to think about what I have to do for today, or my morning routines may look different Tuesday and Friday. Now you're trying to figure it out. This literally limits the time that you have to think about these things. I believe that we should redefine our failures during this process as data collection. I truly believe that we should change our relationship with failure. We should treat it as a setback, as a data point, rather than a personal flaw. When you don't achieve a goal, analyze the conditions around that moment. Were you low on sleep? Did you not plan well enough? Document these observations as data to refine your approach, making each failed attempt as a lesson rather than a step back. See, if you're trying to avoid distraction, make them harder to access. For instance, if you want to reduce your social media time, log out of all of your accounts every time or uninstall the app. Conversely, decrease friction for beneficial activity. So if you want to write every morning, keep a notebook or a pen right on the side of you on your nightstand so that it's the first thing that you see when you wake up. I believe this approach integrates deep self-awareness, proactive strategies, and counterintuitive methods to help reinforce discipline in a practical and personalized way. I really hope that this video helped you in some way, some shape, or form. But being real with you, we have to know that discipline is what's going to get us there. Motivation is just the icing on the cake, but like at the end of the day, like the core is discipline. And that's what's gonna help us really maintain our routines, our good habits, to leveling up. It's just very crucial, and you're gonna have to have discipline. As hard as it may be, It is possible and doable. Even the lazy can implement these steps and start to see progress. 1% every day, if you can. Even if you're lazy, just that 1% will help in the long run. Take it a step at a time, you guys. Don't try to overdo it. Don't try to force it to the point where like you get burnt out, but just know that you have to take some steps to get to that point. Use that motivation and turn it into results. Like I said before, motivation comes and it goes, but discipline keeps you pushing forward, especially after the excitement starts to wear off. We have to work daily on our goals. It's what separates intention from execution. We just have to have that mastery over our mind, and that's really where it starts. It really starts in our mind. It's the ability to master your impulses, your emotions, your desire. It's the tool that allows you to say no to what is uncomfortable and yes to what's necessary. Once you learn how to overcome eternal resistance, and really, if we're being honest, the lack of discipline is the result of procrastination. So when you lack that discipline, it's easy to fall back into that cycle of procrastination and regret. It just becomes like a loop, like a cycle. But remember, discipline will help break that cycle if you are in that cycle at this moment. This is by creating great habits, creating routines, taking action. The less you have to rely on willpower, the easier it is to stay productive and focused, to the point that over time, this starts to shape your identity. You will consistently start to show up and do the hard thing. You'll start to see yourself as someone that is capable, resilient, and determined. And that's who we want to be. That's who you should want to be. It's like this identity shift is transformative. Once you see yourself as a disciplined person, it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start acting in accordance to that identity, making discipline easier to maintain. But remember, still be prepared for unforeseen challenges, because we're gonna get those challenges, y'all. Life is literally unpredictable, and we have to remember that. But discipline helps you and equips you with the mental strength and resilience to handle these setbacks and challenges that may come your way. You develop the habit of showing up and staying committed, even when things don't go according to your plan. This keeps you adaptable and resourceful, and that's what we have to be, y'all. Before we end this out, I want you to remember this. Ultimately, discipline isn't just about getting things done. It's about becoming the type of person who can transform their reality. It's a tool for self-empowerment and a vehicle for achieving mastery in every area of your life. So just remember that. And you can do it. And I just hope you guys learned a lot in this video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to chat it up with you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you in any kind of way. Subscribe, follow me on my socials. Everything will be in the description box below, you guys. Just know we're gonna be the disciplined baddies, okay? That being said, I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!